Welcome to Buffalo and Sparrow Yoga Collective YouTube channel in my happy place. This is going to be just a brief grounding yoga, more gentle for anxiety. So we are going to start in child's pose, very grounding shape with your knees a little bit wider, your toes knocking together and your hips drawing close towards your heels. You can take your arms up overhead, or if you want to bring your hands back behind you, that's great. Know that any pose that I cue, you can shift and make it into your own. So I'm not going to rest my head just so that I can keep talking, but you feel free to rest your head down to a block, a blanket, or the yoga mat. And begin to take some intentional breaths in and out through your nose. Just very slowly breathing in, noticing if you can connect with a cooling sensation on your inhale and maybe a little bit of a warming sensation on your exhale. Start to feel the ground beneath you as you connect with the stability from the earth, and bring all of your awareness into this moment. So anxiety is usually connected to our worry about the future and our sense of being out of control about that future, not being in control of that. And all we're worried about here is taking care of the here and now, this moment that we're in. So to do that, it's helpful to connect with your senses. So feel the texture of the mat under your fingertips. And like I said, your breath moving in and out of your body. And then begin to soften everything down towards your mat as you breathe in and out. What is it that you need from your practice right here, right now? And see if you're gripping anywhere, like in your face, in your shoulders, in your hips, and permission those places to soften. Easier said than done, I know. Travel your breath with awareness. And of course, you can shift while you're here if you want to shift from side to side into your hips. We'll take a few moments to let the mind settle. So this is where you can invite sort of a meditative place into your mental landscape within your yoga practice so that you can be fully here. You just cognitively release the thoughts and worries of the day. Again, easier said than done. But do that by focusing in on your breath and your sensations. And then when thoughts try to intrude your practice, you just wrap them in a little bubble and send them on their way and come back to your breath. Take about 3 to 4 more breaths here, recognizing that we're starting with a grounding pose, but it's also kind of an intense hip pose. Hip openers can be a lot, especially at the start of class, so I just want to acknowledge that. It's a lot that our hips store. And when you're ready, pull into your fingertips, come forward through into tabletop shape. And probably going to have to switch my mic as I take off my flannel because now I'm getting warm. In tabletop shape, begin to move through some undulations in your spine that could look like cat-cow. So it could be this like traditional lowering your belly and then rounding into your spine. Or you might start to make some C stretches, getting into your side body. C stretches meaning you're forming your spine in the shape of a C. And then if you want, you can combine those movements into barrel rolls. So making big old circles in your spine, getting into all the sticky places, the residue of whatever is in your body. Your body is constantly sending messages to you about what you're holding and how we feel discomfort and pain in our body because our body is telling us to take care of it. Take your palms a little farther forward, tuck your toes, and then lift your knees away from the ground. Take your hips back and up to downward facing dog. Take a moment here to feel into the back of your legs. And I might encourage some lift and lowers of your heels, or like I said, any other movements that you want to invite into this pose. Let your dog be downward, not judgy, meaning yoga is always about what it feels like, right? Rather than what it looks like. So it doesn't matter how your down dog looks as long as you're feeling something and you're keeping your body safe. Our yoga practice encourages us to find the edge of comfort / discomfort, but also the ability to recognize what might become pain so that we can adjust. Good, and then from here, we're gonna reach your right leg all the way up and back, keeping your toes dialed down. Lift your heel a little higher. Press your palms down and forward so your heart reaches towards your thigh. Yeah, then when you exhale, take this right knee, hug it in towards your chest. Then mindfully step this right foot forward. We're gonna bend into your back knee and let it lower all the way down towards the earth. Sweep your arms high and cactus out through your arms, open up through your heart. So anxiety lives in different places in the body. For me, it can travel from my gut to my chest, even into my upper back. Those are the common places. Years ago, it was my jaw, although I feel like that could have been more stress. And when my stress moves into anxiety, it's more of my gut or my chest. So just notice where you're feeling it. And then this pose right here, we're getting a stretch in your abdominals, an opening in your heart, and then engagement into your upper back. So just notice where you feel it. Good. And then we'll take your arms and wrap your left arm under your left and take your left arm under your left. I dare you. Left arm under your right into eagle arms as you draw your elbows away from your heart. And notice if you can connect with that opening in your upper back. Some of you may want to move your elbows up and down so we can feel a massaging action in between your shoulder blades. All the while, hug your low belly in so we keep your low back nice and supported. Unwrap your arms, sweep your arms back behind you as you lengthen into your front leg. Peel your toes off of the mat. Good. You're welcome to place your hands to blocks here. That's really nice to have for extra stability, especially when we're thinking about anxiety. More stability, the better. And then option here to roll your shoulders back. So I love movement when I'm working with getting anxiety out of my body. So think about just releasing that anxiety out through just the gentle movements of your body. So imagining it like just falling right out of your body rather than keeping it stagnant and still. Sweep your arms all the way up. Maybe your hips soften down and a little bit more forward. Option to invite a little bit of a back bend here. You could take your fingertips together and trace your fingertips back. And if all of that is a big laugh or hell no for you, also fine. Then as you exhale, plant your palms down towards the earth. Step back into downward facing dog with an optional vinyasa. So optional because sometimes we want to keep moving through anxiety. Sometimes we need to practice self-care and rest. So the vinyasa is chaturanga low plank to upward facing dog or cobra, and then all the way back to downward facing dog. Here's your reminder as your perspective is different here in this inversion. Let your practice be more about what it feels like than what it looks like. Left leg all the way up and back, toes. Keep dialing down. I might have to do yoga for my brain. Another big breath in. Exhale, hug, knee to nose. Feel that core engagement as you hug your knee in or wherever else you might feel it. Then mindfully step your left foot all the way through in between your palms. Eventually your back knee is going to lower all the way down. We'll engage that low belly and lift your arms nice and high. Exhale, cactus out through your arms. I said some things on the other side, so we'll take a moment here so we can get the same amount of opening on this side. It's your hip flexor we're feeling there on that right side. Your psoas, which it is formed at the same time that your amygdala is in utero. And your amygdala is your fear center, your smoke alarm. So now it's going to be right arm under left into eagle arms as you hug everything in. This time it's not right under right, right under left. And then the option to pull your elbows farther away from your heart to open up expansion into your upper back. Maybe you start to move your elbows up and down. And your psoas muscle, that hip flexor there that you're feeling on the right side, is your fight or flight muscle. So it tenses up when you are in your sympathetic nervous system. And when it gets tense, it can get smaller. And that crunches your lumbar spine. So this length we're creating hopefully can bring some reprieve to that. Good. Well, unwrap your arms, sweep them back behind you as you lengthen into your left leg. Left toes are going to peel off of the mat. Good. And then option to bring some shoulder movements here, just rolling your shoulder blades back onto your spine. And you might have picked a playlist for this practice. So you could even go to the beat of the music if you want. I love music so much, and I love it in yoga. So feel free to play what you want to play alongside this practice. 3, 2, and on 1, we'll bend back into your knee. Place your palms to the ground. Lift your right knee. Step back into high plank, because this is where we remind ourselves we can do hard things. What is the day without a little bit of dread? I don't know anybody that's like, yeah, put me in plank or put me in chair and plank, right? You can get through hard things. You can always lower your knees down if you want. I probably have my tushy too high, so I'm bringing my body awareness in. Then bend into your elbows, either low plank, chaturanga, or all the way down to your belly, your choice. Roll your shoulders up, cobra pose, or maybe it's upward facing dog for you. Then we meet in downward facing dog. Take a moment here to feel. I might encourage you to swivel your heels from left to right, as we get a little bit of a twist in your low back here too. Maybe you feel length in the sides of your body. Yeah. Then again, we'll take right leg high. As you exhale, right leg comes all the way through. Sweep your arms high. We're in high crescent lunge now. We're going to take a twist. T-twist to the right with the option to take your elbow to the outside of your knee. So unraveling all that anxiety, this twist, bringing heat into your core, which can help move some of those things through the body that anxiety brings. I just did a hiccup. I confess I had lunch like 20 minutes ago. So twisting, I do not recommend twisting right after lunch, because that's what will happen. Stuff will come up, hiccups, whatever. Unwind, bring your arms all the way high. And then as you exhale, lengthen into your right leg and fold over. So again, a great place for blocks. And if you don't have blocks at home, all good. You can use your sealed water bottle, or I don't know, Amazon boxes come about this size. You could do that. So spin your back heel down. And bring a little bit of a micro bend in this front leg as you anchor your right hip back and fold over that knee. Take a few rounds of breath here. So in this pose, as in downward facing dog, we have our head below our heart, which can be really beneficial to bring calm to the mind. I'll say everybody holds stress differently, so it's not like a one thing fits, one size fits all. It's not a one pose fixes all. So just notice what works for you. But oftentimes, just the blood rushing to the head like this can help bring a sense of calm to that monkey brain, to the busyness that happens in our brains. And so invite that in. Even if you're not feeling it, just the intention can help. And maybe you find the longer you're here, the more you can fold. You decide what feels best in your body. Full breaths. Just imagining all that worry releasing out of your body. It doesn't serve you, right? When has worry ever served anyone? I don't know that I've ever heard that it has. And so, can you trust that it's not serving you and release it? Bend into that front leg. Place your palms back to the ground. Step back into downward facing dog. Good. We'll just take a couple beats here to notice either side of the body. Good, and you'll stay where you're at. I'm going to switch just so when I twist, I'm still facing you. Left leg lifts, and we use a good amount of control to bring that left foot in between your palms. Sweep your arms all the way up. I also recommend a hairband if you have longer hair when practicing yoga. Take your twist, T-twist to the left. And we're just like encouraging your navel to come towards your left hip point. And some of you will stay here. Others might choose to bring more depth into your twist, depending on how your core is feeling. Elbow to the outside of your knee. As you twist, I see my garbage man coming by. Thank you. Thank you for taking my garbage. Good. And we are here for a few rounds of breath, so really think about warming up into your core as you squeeze into your twist. Steady breaths. Stay right here in this moment right now. This is really all there is the present. All you need to be concerned with. You take care of now, you take care of the next now, and then the next now, and then the next now, and then your future's taken care of. Inhale, unwind. Bring your arms up. Lengthen into your front leg. Take your blocks, which hopefully are closer to you than mine are to me, and spin your back heel down. It's that pyramid fold over the front of your leg as you invite that calming into your brain. Left hip anchors back. This is mind chatter that we have. That's not actually us. That is our thoughts. And then we have feelings about our thoughts, and we think that defines like the I am of who we are. But the I am of us is the person observing all of that mind chatter. And the I am actually can have control over that mind chatter. So you just say like, yeah, peanut gallery, you can leave. I'm just going to focus on my breath right now. And there's no thoughts attached to that. There's no judgments. It's just as it is. Decide if there's more room for you to fold the longer you stay here. Maybe you say something kind to yourself, affirming. Like in this moment, you are good. You're good. All good. I'm doing yoga. My body is feeling something. I have time for this. My brain, my body, my spirit are all working together. That is yoga. In Sanskrit, it's yuj, the union of mind, body, and spirit. Bend it back into that front leg so you can plant your palms to the earth. Step back into downward facing dog. Take your feet a little bit wider and walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat until you're in a forward fold. Now I'm going to face you, although my face is not, the back of my head is. And in this wide forward fold, use your hands kind of as noodles to sweep across the ground. And then slowly come up one side, all the way up through center, and drip down the other side. Turns out my hair is also going to be mopping the ground along with my hands. Go the other way, all the way up and down. So you can either keep doing that from side to side, or we'll do an embodiment of release. So it's coming up and swooping to the side, coming up and swooping to the other side. And this is a pose that I really love when I just want to get rid of stress, get rid of the trauma I'm holding on to, get rid of the anxiety I'm holding on to. Exhale to release. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All the way back to center. Heel toe your feet in, back into sitting bones distance. I have a feeling I'm getting floppy in my hair and probably obstructing. Look at that. There's a hairband. Feel your feet into the ground. Come up through the crown of your head. And so we work with opposition here. Feet rooted, crown of the head reaching high. Reach your arms all the way up to increase this opposition of action, these two opposing actions. And maybe you soften your gaze or close your eyes. Breathe here for a moment. Anytime I take Urdhva Hastasana or a standing pose like mountain pose, I think like, wow, like from my feet to my hands, I am what's between the heavens and the earth. I then become a conduit of energy. I'm somehow exchanging from earth to sky and sky to earth. There's something, I think, magical about that. Intertwine your fingers at the small of your back and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Good. And then I'm going to turn so you can see the optional movements forward if you choose to take it. So if you want more for the chest opener and the upper back, bend into your elbows and take your knuckles to your sacrum. Then hug your elbows in even more until you feel a big squeeze and a big chest opener there. From there, you can lift your chin just a bit. And with as much as you're pressing your knuckles into your sacrum, hug your low belly in towards your spine. Good. So stay here if you're feeling enough. Otherwise, take your knuckles away from your sacrum. So there's lots of strength required here. Then maybe as you keep that lift, you start to lengthen out through your arms like you're unraveling all the dramatic group texts that you've ever had, and you're releasing it into the ether. Like, I'm not going to read any of that. I'm just going to let it all unravel and not engage. Lift your heart. Is that just me, or is that you too? Optional fold forward. No, I actually have really great group texts. Some of them can be dramatic. Here you might invite a bounce. So sometimes when I think about bouncing and embodying release, it's like, okay, I'm just going to let a little bit at a time until I feel like I've released. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start to come up. Sweep your arms all the way high. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Level out your chin and take a few breaths of stability as you feel your feet connected to the earth and the crown of your head connecting to collective consciousness. Get soft in your jaw. Can you even soften a little bit into your glutes, but still keep the stability of your feet and your legs? Good. And then before we come down to cool down, we're going to do what's called a breath of joy. It's a really releasing breath, but it also helps energize us. So the cadence is inhale, 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 and then a releasing exhale. So you can watch me do one round, and then we'll do 6 together. So it's a 3-part breath. So your 3 inhales are going to be one big one. So yeah. So we'll do 6 together. Last one. Good. Should end in a fold. Heel toe your feet wide. Toes turning out so your hips can lower all the way down into a malasana squat. Elbows to the fleshy folds of your knees. On the inside there, get tall through your spine. Maybe you soften your gaze or close your eyes down as you tap into your internal landscape. Get a little introspective, what's happening, but don't let the peanut gallery take over. It's like we're just becoming aware of our sensations. We're becoming aware of how our anxiety has moved, becoming aware of what our heart feels like, and encouraging that calm mind. Or maybe for you, you just want to travel your breath in and out and bring your awareness along with it. Good. Then we'll take your hands back behind you so you can lower your seat all the way down. Make your way to your back as you hug your knees in close. Give yourself a squeeze and a hug, and imagine that you could just squeeze out all the shit. Oh, not out of your bum, but all the shit of the anxiety squeezes out from your core, from wherever else you might hold it. This is a funny pose to say that. So lift your feet up towards the ceiling with your feet about hips distance apart. Tuck your shoulder blades under. So legs up the wall, even though I'm not at a wall, but you sure can be. With your feet flexed, we're reversing the blood flow of what we normally, how we normally move, right? Because normally our feet support us, and now we're just letting all that blood come down into our vital organs. This can be really good for anxiety. It can be good for digestion, just overall health, but it also gets your parasympathetic nervous system activated, which is your rest and digest, your sense of calm. So this is a good one to do before bed, or if you just need a quick reset, this is also really good. You might circle out your ankles here if you want. We'll take about 30 more seconds here just to allow that blood flow to reverse and to give us those benefits. You might take your hands to your belly, or one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And know that if your legs are shaking, that's totally normal. That can be a nervous system release. It can be a muscle fatigue kind of sensation or signal. All of it is okay and normal. You might be weird, but you're not weird in that way. I think weird is always good. But it's encouraging to know that you're not the only one maybe that does something like shake your legs when your legs come up. It doesn't mean anything bad, at least. Good, and then we'll let your feet come all the way down towards the earth. About the distance of your hips, press into your feet, lift your hips into bridge pose. Some of you might want to take a supportive bridge pose and just place that block right there at your sacrum, which is just below your lumbar spine. Others of you will keep it engaged. Either way, we're lifting your hips up. Then, if you want, you can intertwine your fingers right under your glutes there. Press your pinkies into the earth to lift your hips even higher. And then see if you can't also press the inside of your feet towards the earth as well as the outside. I like to think about this as like a reset for my spine too. I hold, for whatever reason, I am weird, and I think it can be weird to go around clenching your butt cheeks all day long, but that just so happens to be my lived experience. I clench my butt cheeks. So I think about this being like a reset. Good, and then when you're ready, release your glutes all the way down towards the earth. Take your left leg out long, hug your right knee in. Give it a squeeze. Squeeze all of the anxiety out. And then draw your right knee across your mat into a twist. You might shift your hips a little closer to center. Take your gaze over one shoulder, probably your right one, as you look over towards your hand. So we're bringing the twist into your neck as well. And then just breathe. Think about just unraveling all of that stress. And hopefully, when we come out of this practice, we'll have released some of our anxiety and stress. And remembering that if you're like me and most people with anxiety, you're likely going to want to do this again because anxiety will come a knocking once more. But you're gaining tools to deal with it, to regulate whatever comes through with your breath, with your poses. Come back to center. Right leg goes long, left knee hugs in, and we'll pull that across your body. Maybe shift your hips to center. It's your left arm that goes out, and you'll look over your left shoulder. And see if you can't keep your breaths really full, so we still get depth of breath and that movement throughout your core. And are your brows furrowing? Can you soften and unfurrow your brow? It's like sometimes it can be helpful to actually take your fingers and just like spread that space wide. And for me, it has the added benefit of brushing my eyebrows because I have a pet peeve with eyebrows that are like brushed the wrong way, the opposite way, like against the grain, so to speak. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, come back to center. Do any last fidgets or movements that you want to make, and we will briefly rest in Shavasana. I will always take this with you so we can always close out class together. I think that's important to close the container of class. So just a brief Shavasana here together. I will seal my lips so you can get into your meditative space and receive your practice. Stay here and try not to let your peanut gallery take over. Keep your mind calm. And I will close us out in just a minute or two. Notice your breath once more as you breathe a little deeper, fuller, longer, and begin to move into your fingers and your toes. Perhaps you circle out your wrists and your ankles. And then stretch long and tall. Use a big breath in to help that expansion in your mid-body. As you exhale, hug your knees close in towards your chest. Release any last bit of anxiety. As you roll over to one side, take a moment to be still here on your side as you bring something to mind that you're grateful for. You might even bring your palm towards the earth to remind yourself of your own stability and also this relationship you have with grounding, that you get to get back from the earth any time you want. Then press yourself up to a seat. When you're ready, place your palms together at your heart and gently bow your chin towards your chest. Exhale all of your breath out. Breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale out your mouth. It's been my honor and my joy to have practiced with you today. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourself, to work through hard feelings and sensations. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti means peace, peace, peace. And it started hailing a little bit here. So if you heard some noises in your Shavasana, that's what it was. It was hail. And check out the other videos if you're wanting something a little more strong or a little more stretchy or meditative only. And you can get longer practices by becoming a member in Patreon. You get one live class, full live class a month, and one full pre-recorded class a month, in addition to what all you get when you subscribe to the channel, which is for free, these bite-sized little practices and meditations. So thank you for coming to your mat today. And if you ever get the chance to come to our yoga studio, I hope you do. It's Buffalo and Sparrow Yoga Collective. We have amazing teachers there in person, but we also have a lot of classes online on the platform of Zoom. So I hope to see you there and back here.